Okay, so for this section, we're going to talk about intercepts, horizontal and vertical lines. All right, so the first thing is intercepts. So, um, so basically, an x-intercept, it crosses the x-axis, right? So it's intersecting the x-axis, and then the y-intercept means it's crossing the y-axis or intersecting the y-axis. But notice that when you find the intercept, so for the x-intercept, right, they give you a value for x, okay? So x, they tell you is -3, but notice that the y value, right, the y value here is 0, okay? So to find the x-intercept, you just plug in 0 for the y value. Now, it's the same thing for the y-intercept, but the opposite. So in this case, they give you the y-intercept. So here's our y, the value for the y-intercept. But to find the y-intercept, you would have to plug in 0 for x, right? So notice there's 0 here for the x value. So that's how you find the x and y-intercept. So to find the x-intercept, this is when y is equal to 0. And to find the y-intercept, that's when it's x is equal to 0. So let's do an example. So let's say we have -2x plus 3y equals -6. Okay? So again, I want to find the x-intercepts and I want to find the y-intercepts. Okay? So in this case, to find the x-intercept, we will set y is equal to 0. So I just plug in 0 for y. Okay, so we have -2x plus 3 times 0 equals -6. Okay, let me bring this down here. So we'll have -2x and then 3 times 0 is 0 equals -6. Then we divide. Sorry, we'll just simplify this a little bit more. -2x plus 0 is just -2x equals -6, and then divide by -2. Okay, so x gives us +3 because a negative divided by a negative is +3. All right, so in this case, for this problem here, all right, again, these two are not related to each other. Okay. um, the x-intercept would be 3. Okay. Now for the y-intercept, we do exactly the same thing, but now we're going to set x to 0. Okay. So we have, go back here. We're going to set x equals 0. So we'll have -2 times 0 now plus 3 times y equals -6. -2 times 0 is 0, then plus 3y equals -6. So that gives me 3y on the left side, and then we divide both sides by 3. Okay, so y is going to give us -2. -6 divided by 3 is -2. So in this case, the y-intercept for this equation is -2. All right, questions so far? All right, so here again, we want to find the X and Y intercepts, right? So we need to find X and Y intercepts, right? So in order to do that, to find the X intercept, again, we're going to set Y equals 0, means replace Y with 0. So we have negative 3x plus 8 times 0 equals 24. That goes to 0. So we have negative 3x equals 24. Then divide everything by negative 3. So x gives us negative 8, right? So that's our x-intercept, right? Or it'll be negative 8, 0, depending on how they want the answer. All right. Now for the y-intercept, we do the opposite of that. So we're going to set um, x equals 0. So y-intercept x equals 0. So we have negative 3 times 0 plus 8y equals 24. That's 0 plus 8y equals 24. Then give me 8y equals 24. Then divide both sides by 8. So y gives us 3, right? Or um, 0, 3. Okay. And then for this one here, okay. So same thing, x-intercept. So y equals 0, y-intercept, x equals 0. So we'll have negative x over 4 plus 0 over 3 equals 1. Negative x over 4. 0 over 3 is just 0. All right, equals 1. Then we multiply both sides by negative 4. Okay, so that gives us x equals negative 4. Okay, and then for the y-intercept, so we set x equals 0, so that'll be negative 0 over 4 plus y over 3 equals 1. So this is going to give us 0 here, right? Because this is 0. And then we'll have y over 3 equals 1. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3. So y equals 3. So, or it would be negative 4, 0. This would be 0, 3. All right, so let's look at these two graphs. So we have a horizontal graph and then a vertical graph. All right, so give me any point on this horizontal graph. Just give me any point. What's a good point or any point that's on the horizontal graph? Okay, negative 2, 0. All right, give me another one. Okay. Oh, sorry. You're right. You're right. You're right. It's 0, negative 2. 0, -2. You're right. Okay, give me another one. So we pick this point. What else? Give me another point on this line. Okay, 3, -2. All right, so that point's right there. All right. Okay, give me another one. I'm trying to make a point here. No pun intended. Okay, -1, -2. Right, so that's right here. Okay. All right, give me one more. Okay, -3, -2. Okay, so what do you notice here? Do you see a pattern? What do you know? What do you notice here? -2, right? The the -2, this is our x coordinate and the y coordinate. All right. So for the horizontal line, the y coordinate's always the same, right? The y coordinate's always the same. So it doesn't matter what number you give me, x coordinate, the y coordinate will be the same. So the equation for this line here, horizontal line, is going to be y equals -2 because it doesn't really matter what you give me. The y value will always be -2. Okay. All right. What about the next one? Okay. 3, 0. Good. So 3 zeros right here. Here's a different color. Okay. Give me another point. So we got 3, 0. Okay. We got 3, 2. Okay. Give me another one. Okay. 3, -1. And then one more. Okay. 3, 3. Okay. So up here. All right. So what do you notice about this? What do you notice about this one? Exactly. The x value here now is always the same. Okay. So for the one on the left graph, the y values are the same. For here, the x ones are always the same. So in this case here, the x value is always the same. Okay. So this will be interpreted as what? X equals 3, right? Because it's no matter again what number you give me for the y, the x value will always be 3. Okay. Question there? All right, let's look at the next one. So based off of this information here, okay, let me know what will be the equation for this table here, and then what will be the equation for this table here. So based off this table, we need to write an equation. Okay. So for the first one, right, that's going to be y is equal to -10, right? Because the y value is always the same, okay? So the equation here be y equals -10, because no matter what value you give me for x, the y value is always -10, okay? And so it is for this one. The equation for this is going to be x is equal to 20, because any y value you give me, it's always 20. Okay, so x is equal to 20 for the second table, and then y equals -10 for the first table there. Okay.